Welcome to This Explainer. Look, today we're tackling planetary sustainability, but honestly, we're not going to look at it as some daunting, heavy sacrifice. Instead, think of it as a highly rewarding, high-yield investment portfolio. I am so thrilled you're here with us. We're totally flipping the script on how we think about saving the environment. So instead of stressing over what we have to give up, we're focusing on what we actually gain by treating our daily habits like a compounding financial asset.
So here's the game plan for today. We've got 5 key areas. First, the triple planetary crisis. Second, the compounding effects solution. Third, we'll dive into 5 daily environmental rituals. Fourth, we'll calculate your 1-year ROI. And finally, number 5, the circular economy shift.
All right, let's jump straight into part 1, the triple planetary crisis and this massive global debt we are dealing with.
You know, it's incredibly easy for any of us to feel like our small, everyday actions just don't matter against such a colossal challenge. When we hear about the state of the world in 2026, the sheer scale of the problem can literally lead to paralysis. We always end up asking ourselves, how can my family possibly make a dent in a global crisis?
Well, the key is understanding what we're actually up against. This triple planetary crisis is essentially a massive interconnected deficit. It's made up of 3 parts: climate change, biodiversity loss, and pollution. Right now, as a global society, we're feeding this crisis with a highly destructive mindset. We're essentially living on a high-interest credit card, just blindly borrowing resources from tomorrow to pay for today.
So to fix this, we need a massive paradigm shift. We have to move from an outdated linear economy to a highly efficient circular economy. Our current linear model is this crazy take-make-waste culture. We take raw materials, make something, and then toss it right in the trash. It's a one-way street to a landfill. The alternative, and really our ultimate goal here, is the circular economy, where resources never actually become waste. The whole shebang is continuously reused, repurposed, or recycled.
Which brings us to part 2, the compounding effect solution, where small deposits equal massive returns.
Now, the absolute beauty of this solution is that it's universal. Anyone, from a high-powered corporate CEO to an 8-year-old kid, can start compounding these daily returns. You absolutely do not need $1 billion to change the world. You just need consistency. Much like putting a few bucks away every day grows into a massive retirement fund through compound interest, these small daily environmental actions accumulate into a staggering impact over time.
Let's get into the specifics with Part 3, our action plan portfolio, featuring 5 daily environmental rituals.
Ritual number 1 is the trash detective. Look, the core problem here is that when we mix dry and wet waste, it all goes to a landfill, decomposes together, and produces methane, which is a shockingly powerful greenhouse gas. The fix? It's so simple. Just use 2 bins, one for dry waste like paper and plastic, and one for wet waste like food peels. You can even gamify this for your kids as a profiling game, where every single piece of trash has to be investigated and sent to its correct home.
And the return on this simple daily habit? You're preventing 500 kilograms of waste from ever reaching a landfill each year, assuming a family of 4. Think about that weight for a second. Half a ton of garbage, cleanly diverted, severely reducing methane emissions, just from tossing an apple core into a different bin. Crazy, right?
Okay, Ritual 2 tackles electricity, which is a leading cause of carbon emissions. We like to call this the phantom power hunt. Phantom power is the energy sucked up by devices that are plugged in, but not actually turned on. Think of your TV or your phone charger. By simply appointing your kids as energy officers, you can have them hunt down and switch off those glowing red standby lights every night before bed, which, let's be real, might actually be easier than getting them to turn off their actual bedroom lights.
Over a single year, this nightly sweep saves your family roughly 300 kilowatt hours of electricity. To put that massive return into perspective, saving that much electricity is the carbon-reducing equivalent of planting 4 entire trees. 4 trees, literally planted, just by flipping a few switches before you go to sleep.
Ritual 3 tackles rapidly dropping urban water tables, and we call it the bucket challenge. A standard 5-minute shower is surprisingly wasteful. You're washing 40 to 50 liters of treated water straight down the drain. A bucket bath, however, is highly efficient, using only 15 to 20 liters. Combine this with just turning off the tap while you scrub your hands or brush your teeth, and the results are huge.
Just think about the scale of that shift. You are saving a massive 25,000 to 30,000 liters of fresh water annually for a family of 4. In a world where urban water tables are critically low, keeping 30,000 liters in the reservoir is a phenomenal localized return on your investment.
Moving on to Ritual 4, Green Miles.
We all do it. We jump in the car for incredibly short local errands, which totally spikes local PM 2.5 and PM 10 air pollution right where we live. Green Miles is simply an active commuting practice. If your destination is less than 2 kilometers away, you walk or bike instead of driving. It's a fantastic excuse to let your kids observe nature, count some trees, and get a little physical fitness in. By replacing those short car trips with a quick walk, your family stops 150 kilograms of CO2 emissions from entering your local neighborhood's atmosphere every single year. You are quite literally cleaning the air your own family breathes on your daily walks.
And finally, Ritual 5 is the single-use strike. This is a simple, 3-step daily boycott to prevent plastic pollution from permanently choking our oceans and soil. Step 1. Always carry a cloth bag. Step 2. Carry a reusable water bottle everywhere you go. And Step 3. Firmly but politely refuse all plastic straws and small plastic bags at stores.
The annual impact of just keeping a cloth bag and water bottle on hand, it eliminates 1,200 single-use plastic items from the ecosystem per family. Picture 1,200 plastic bottles and bags scattered across a beach. Now picture that exact same beach completely clean. That is your family's direct, measurable impact.
Let's tally this all up in Part 4, your one-year ROI, and those incredible compounding results.
When you add it all up, these absolutely aren't sacrifices. Practiced consistently, these gamified daily rituals create a massive return. By just making tiny adjustments, segregating waste, turning off phantom lights, using a bucket, walking short distances, and refusing single-use plastics, your family of 4 has diverted half a ton of waste, planted the equivalent of 4 trees, saved enough water to fill a small pool, scrubbed 150 kilograms of carbon from your local air, and vanished 1,200 pieces of plastic from the earth. And that is all in just 1 year.
Which brings us to our final section, Part 5, the circular economy shift and your immediate microclimate benefits. By shifting to this mindset, you immediately build a microclimate in your own home. Look, this isn't just about polar bears or distant ice caps. This is deeply personal. Environmentally, you get cleaner air on your street and way less waste in your local bins. Financially, saving 300 kilowatt hours and 30,000 liters of water dramatically lowers your monthly utility bills. Personally, walking those green miles yields better physical health outcomes for you and your kids. And behaviorally, tracking these habits instills a beautifully disciplined, organized lifestyle.
So, looking at the incredible compounding power of these small actions, which environmental ritual are you going to start investing in tonight? Are you going to be the trash detective or perhaps appoint a chief energy officer to hunt down phantom power? Remember, the absolute beauty of compounding interest is that time is your greatest asset. You just have to start.